The 2018 Buick Regal GS, the third and final variant of the all-new Buick Regal, was revealed this morning. At the event, we were given a brief chance to drive the Regal Sportback, the Regal Turks, and the Regal GS at GM's Proving Grounds in Milford, Michigan. Buick has been working hard to shed its image as the brand that comes with an AARP membership card in the glove box, and this handsome trio is definitely on the right path. With a solid list of features at competitive prices, it's now going to be up to Buick's marketing division to get customers into showrooms. We should say right off the bat that while the old G-Body Grand National and GNX were hardcore giant slayers, the new Regal GS isn't intended to be so sharp-edged. Those 80s machines were focused on 0-60 times, and looking as sinister as possible. The new Regal is far more civilized than its forebear. They may share a name, but the purpose has changed. The standard Regal Sportback starts at $25,915, that's $2,470 less than the outgoing model. It might be the most attractive Buick in decades, at least on the outside. The interior is typical GM, meaning lots of colors and textures without a defining theme. It's powered solely by a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 making 250 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent to the front wheels through a 9-speed automatic. From behind the wheel, the Regal Sportback is quiet, comfortable, and generally relaxed. The 2.0-liter turbo makes a decent amount of power, but the steering and handling remind you that this isn't a sports sedan. That's not a fault, simply a conscious design choice. Despite what some enthusiasts would lead you to believe, not everything needs to be set up for the Nürburgring. The Regal Sportback soaks up bumps fairly well, though the car felt light going over some larger bumps on GM's handling course. The steering is completely dead, but it doesn't feel loose or sloppy. There's simply no feedback from the tires. On the other hand, the brakes were surprisingly good. The pedal was firm and confidence-inspiring. Stopping quickly from 60 miles per hour provided no drama. The $29,995 Regal Turks is a high-riding wagon in the vein of the Subaru Outback, Audi A4 Allroad, and Volvo V60 Cross Country. Like those three, the Regal Turks comes standard with some beefy plastic cladding and all-wheel drive, giving some pretense of off-road capability. Like the Regal Sportback, the Regal Turks is powered by a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4. Horsepower stays the same, but torque has been bumped to 295 pounds-to-foot at launch. The Regal Turks will come with an 8-speed automatic, though engineers tell us that the 9-speed will be available later on to replace it. From behind the wheel, the Regal Turks doesn't feel all that much different than the Sportback. Sure, there's a little more low-end grunt, but the extra weight. We were told the all-wheel drive system adds some pounds to the vehicle, but couldn't get a specific number at this stage, negates that somewhat. Other than that, it's the same handsome if generally sedate midsize car. The Regal GS is the car enthusiasts will care about. This is arguably the coolest Regal since the turbocharged GNX from the late 80s. It looks the business, with sporty but subtle accents to the Regal's already good-looking bodywork. Inside, the Regal GS gets a flat-bottom steering wheel and a fantastic sport seat. It's bolstered well enough to keep you planted without making you feel like a bear wearing an inner tube. The Regal GS only comes in Sportback form, though a fast wagon would be a real treat. While the outgoing Regal GS used a high-output 2.0-liter turbocharged 4, the new model gets GM's 3.6-liter, naturally aspirated V6. In this form, it makes 310 horsepower and 282 pounds-to-foot of torque. Power is sent to all four wheels through a 9-speed automatic. There's no manual this time around, and no paddle shifters, either. Buick's engineers said customers never used them. Still, it's an odd call on what Buick is marketing as a sports sedan. After driving the two turbocharged models, stepping behind the wheel of the GS was a breath of fresh air. Power builds smoothly from down low, pulling hard all the way to redline. This isn't a screamer, it's just a quietly confident sedan. Performance numbers haven't been revealed, but 0 to 60 miles per hour in the mid to high 5-second range feels right. The lack of paddle shifters is disappointing, but the 9-speed feels slick and was always in the right gear at the right time. There's no discernible torque steer, an issue with many high-output front or all-wheel drive cars. A GS button on the center console tightens the steering, stiffens the ride, and adjusts the torque split on the all-wheel drive system. It's good, but you can feel the system working beneath you, so it's not as seamless as some other AWD systems out there.